right, joining us now is the Alamogordo Powerlifting team, and joined by their head coach, Austin Drefs. Coach, how are you?
Doing good. How are you?
Fantastic. Happy to have you here. You want to introduce the four that you brought with you today?
Of course. Right here I've got my second year, Rusty Davidson, and then we got Cash, Alejandra, and Sydney Crispin.
All right. How's everybody doing today? Good?
Yep.
Good. Yeah.
All right, that's what we like to hear. Well, Coach, I mean, this is the first year that powerlifting is officially a sport. Last year it was an activity, but it was, you had a state competition, you had local competitions, but I think it was kind of a feel out for the state to see how much interest there would be, and seems to be like there is a lot of interest from a lot of different schools from around the state. What have you seen so far in terms of everybody?
Yes, there's been, I want to say just in 5A, we've had over 12 teams added this year. It's a crazy environment. I mean, between Rusty and Alejandra, who actually, they made it to state last year, they could tell you the growth from our team last year, just kids that would go to meets and they're okay, yeah, I want to be a part of that. Because when people really think about powerlifting, when you look at it, they almost think of like bodybuilders or guys, that got their necks that touch their ears. They're these big bulky guys. And it's really not that. Almost all of our athletes play another sport. I kind of compare it to track, as in it's a great secondary sport. It's a great sport to do where, every sport you got to be strong in some aspect. So that's why I think powerlifting's really taken off.
Yeah, and I mean, it's different weight classes. It's, it really is for everybody. So somebody that weighs, 95 pounds versus somebody that weighs, 300 pounds, you're going to be competing against people around your same weight.
Yes. Kind of like wrestling, where when someone looks up, they watch Rusty or something like that lift, and then they go, oh, I can't do that. And we're like, well, you weigh 90 pounds. Of course you can't do that.
Yeah.
But against other people that are 90 pounds, you're pretty dang strong, kids. So so the weight classes are awesome. And a lot of these kids didn't know they were strong for their weight. Like if you're not, some people just see what's online and like, oh, if I can't do this, I'm like, hey, well, if you're benching your body weight, that's pretty impressive. If you could squat double your body weight, that's really impressive, So it's little things like that.
Yeah. How about you in terms of getting involved with the program and getting it started up? What made you interested in wanting to do this at Alamogordo High School?
The real reason I wanted to kind of get my hands on it is I was the guy that was lifting the football team, and then they were like, hey, we need a guy to do it. And I was, of course, the first guy to jump in there and say, I want to do it. And then I was really planning, I was like, okay, how do I get these football boys? That was my plan. And then the girls team, those girls just come in. I'm going to be honest. The girls recruit girls. Like, they recruit themselves. The girls team just took off fast. But then with the boys, it was trying to, okay, how do I deadlift safely? How do I do all these things to get better? And a lot of it was for football. But guys like Rusty is a power lifter and then a football player. Like, some guys have just flipped.
Yeah.
Right? And now it's crazy to think about. Like, Alejandra, she's a power lifter. And she's just accepted the role of being a power lifter. So when I was able to take that role, and then these kids listen to the kind of, because the only thing I really do as a coach is programming. Here's the lifts. And my goal is to have them peak, be at their top strength by April. That's the goal. Hey, how do I do this? And then the kids, they're the one putting in the effort. As far as coaching goes, as long as I make sure they don't kill themselves in that weight room and they're safe,
yeah,
I just got to give them weights to lift. And, I mean, these kids kind of do the work themselves. It's awesome.
Well, I mean, Rusty, there are some sports at AHS where it's, kind of a personal responsibility thing. You've got to have the motivation to want to go out there and do it. I mean, coach will certainly help you with the motivation, but I would imagine being self-motivated. Have you seen that with all the different guys and gals on the team, that's the big thing in the group?
Yeah, most definitely. If you want to be good at something, you definitely have to go outside of practice. Like, I lift outside of practice so much, and you have to put in work outside of the sport if you want to be good and,
Yeah. It sounds like, coach didn't have to talk you too much into being involved with the team. Was it like, yeah, I'll do that? Was that last year you were happy to be a part of it?
Oh, no, I love lifting outside of all sports in general. It's a big part of my life. It's always been there for me. It's more of a close to home feeling. And I always wanted a powerlifting team. I asked him about it, actually. I was like, hey, like, do we have a powerlifting team? He was like, no, that sounds like a great idea. We should do that. And I was like, let's get that done. That'd be cool.
Do you do the best Drefs impersonation or somebody else?
No, somebody else.
Okay, not you. All right. What have you found to be the most enjoyable thing about the team aspect of it, of the powerlifting, and everybody kind of being involved together? What have you enjoyed about it the most?
Just having more people there, and it's a lighter environment for everyone. the more people you have, you see them lifting, people are hitting PRs. It's a nice feeling to watch, and helping people who don't know what they're doing is also a good feeling.
Yeah. All right. Cash, I mean, obviously we know you mainly from Tiger Baseball, and what got you involved in the program, what got you interested in, because I'm sure you were lifting outside, for baseball and all that, but getting involved in the competition, what got you interested in it?
Well, I mean, Coach Drefs obviously knows what he's doing. He asked if I wanted to join, I think, a couple months ago, and I thought it was a really good idea just because I want to get bigger, faster, stronger, and that was the best way to do that.
Yeah. What do you like about, I talked to Rusty about the team aspect of it. You played on a lot of baseball teams over the years. How's maybe powerlifting differ a little bit for you?
Well, I mean, it's like if you fail a PR by yourself, no one's hurt. But if you fail a PR in front of a bunch of other people, you've let all those people down. And I feel like it kind of just helps you to keep yourself motivated and keep trying to get stronger for the other people on the team.
All right, very good. All right, move over here to Alejandra, who I like it when there's somebody I haven't seen before come in here, and I can tell she's a little nervous, but she's gonna have.
She's nervous,
but she's got a smile on her face, so we're happy to see her. What got you involved in powerlifting? Because you're not involved in any other sports over at the high school, right?
Yeah. I think just being able to lift more than guys that my age. That's a big reason, just to be stronger. Also just to just be good at lifting, because
Is that were you doing lifting by yourself prior to the team, or you came in and this is the place you started doing it?
No, I found out I think the end of my freshman year that Drefs and also Coach Singleton were making a powerlifting team, and so I always wanted to join a team lifting based, and so I just thought of joining.
Okay, very good. And and that was something I was thinking about prior to, for some, high schoolers, team sports where it's a game, whether it's football or basketball or baseball or softball, sometimes it's not just their thing, going and lifting weights. That can be something that's a little bit more up their alley. Does that kind of fit with the way that you are probably?
Yeah, it's definitely more self-paced and also just more mentally challenging, because you can't be a whole head case with yourself. You always have to be pushing yourself. You always have to be bettering yourself by just getting enough sleep, eating right, and just making sure you're always healthy and fit to be able to lift your best.
Awesome. Very good. All right, Sydney Crispin, we know from out there on the volleyball court, and she's now involved with powerlifting. Did you powerlifting last year as well?
I didn't, no.
You didn't? Okay, so what got you to decide to do it this year?
My friends kind of talked about it, and they were in it last year, and so they were like, oh, Sydney, you should come join. And so I just kind of went one of our summer trainings, and I really enjoyed it, so I just stuck with it.
Sometimes peer pressure does work, right?
It does, yeah.
But this is working for a positive thing, because it seems like, it's a very positive environment, and Coach has mentioned, a lot of times, I guess when you think powerlifting, you think big, bulky guys, what he's talking about. But it sounds like the girls that are involved with the program are just as competitive, just as interested, and the camaraderie among the entire group is really special. What have you seen so far with the group?
Absolutely. I think our girls, the girls team is super duper close. We're always hyping each other up and encouraging each other to try to hit those new PRs and whatnot, and so it's super fun to be a part of.
All right. How much do you feel like being involved with the powerlifting team helped you in volleyball season as well?
Absolutely. Yeah, it definitely, volleyball takes a lot of strength, and so all of the lifting I did during the summer and even during the season helped so much with volleyball.
All right. Very cool. Coach, we got these four here. Who else should we be watching out for this year that going to have a chance to maybe get to state, or you're seeing some big improvements from in the offseason going into the year?
I'll start with the girls team. I have a real good feeling about the girls team this year. I think we have a chance to actually bring home a trophy this year. The way you get into state is you take the top 8 in each weight class. So the ones that, we'll have Alejandra, which if she made it this year, be back-to-back, and she's a lot stronger. We have Casey Singleton. She did it last year as an 8th grader, and she made it in that 97-pound weight class. Let's go. We've got Reagan Weaver. We've got her sister, Lily Amaya. The girls team is actually pretty set. We've got a whole bunch of girls that are doing really good. As far as the boys go, we have, and I'm happy to say this, the whole football team.
Cool.
They're all putting in the work. The ones that aren't participating in football, you have James Martin. James Martin has grown so much in the last year. So, I mean, and we're still kind of bringing him in, because as in, like, I just got text messages, hey, coach, I've got 2 friends I want to bring in. Can we? And, you know, as long as I feel like you can lift safe, you know, the roster I have right now and the roster I have at the end of the season is going to be a lot different. So I'm excited for what kids come in. And as of right now, I mean, we've got over 20-something girls, and I can only have 12 on a varsity team. So, I mean, as far as everyone to look out, I would look, Rusty's the one right now going for a state championship, you know, and Alejandra trying to go for a state championship. So it'll be pretty impressive to see what happens.
And in terms of qualifying, I know they take the top 8. Is it based on average lifts, or is it based on your top lift? How does that work?
So the way powerlifting meet works is you have 3 lifts. You have squat, bench, and deadlift. And you get 3 attempts at every lift. And it's the best meet you have, right? So if you have a 300-pound squat, a 100-pound bench, and a 200-pound deadlift, just for easy numbers, right? You'll have 600, and that's your number. They don't care about if you're the best squatter. It's your overall number. So there's some guys there that go, hey, coach, I can bench press a truck. And I'm like, all right, well, can you put that truck on your back and squat it 5 times for me? And they're like, no, and that's where we got to start building it, because it's overall strength. So it's it's your overall number out of all the weights combined.
All right. And, you know, something else that, you know, we're going to see a little more this year is you all will have, I think, 2 local, or actually all 3 competitions will be locally, but you'll be able to do one of them in the Ox Gym, so it'll be a little bit easier to kind of have a crowd and have people watching. And
yes.
I know the other one's going to be in the weight room, but what is a powerlifting competition like? Because
so if you have never been to one, I would go to one, and especially the I want to say, what do we call it? The Last Chance.
Okay.
That one I want to say it's March 30th. That one's the one to go to. Last year, I felt like we put on the best meet. As in, it's at the end of the day, they're competitors. They bring in other schools will come in, but then people, and especially in lifting, love to see cool things happen. So if there's a guy that's about to bench 4 plates, Rusty's going to be there cheering for him, because Rusty just wants to see it happen. Right? You know, Rusty wants to qualify himself, but on the other hand, we all want to see this 97-pound girl try to squat 200 pounds, just because for someone, it's just cool to watch. Yeah. Right? So it's loud. The concessions is always booming. And last year it was big. I think we had 200 people in that Ox Gym. And I think this year it's going to be twice as big. We got all the cruising schools coming down. It's a kind of a wild environment. State is kind of more of a low key, because it's an all-day event. I'm going to be honest. You can't be hype for that long. You'll just be exhausted. So, but as far as our meets go, that one on that Last Chance meet, that's the one I would attend, because that one's going to be rowdy, and that's people's literal last chance to qualify for state.
All right. Rusty, what's your favorite part about the competitions? I mean, Coach talked about, you know, maybe not even so much you doing well, but seeing somebody else do well. Is that kind of what's fun about it?
Yeah, I like seeing people progress. That means they put in the work and effort to get to that point, and just seeing people improve makes me happy. Myself improving makes me happy. Yeah. Everyone likes progress.
All right. So what are your goals this season? What are the numbers you're trying to hit by the time you get to the end of the year?
I want to break the state records that are currently set right now, because I think I'm around 1,300 total as of right now. I'm only 10 pounds off of beating our school's record for each lift overall. And
you're about 70 pounds away from the state records.
Yeah.
Okay. Which discipline do you feel like is your strongest, or do you feel like you're pretty good at all 3?
I think I'm good at all 3, other than listening to how much weight I should put on the bar.
Okay. Maybe taking advice from Coach sometimes is a little difficult for you.
Yeah.
All right. So again, it's deadlift, it's squat, and it's bench.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I want to make sure I had that right in my head. What was going on there? Cash, did you get to do any of the competitions last year?
No, I didn't participate last year.
Okay, that's right. You said that. So, but what about the goals for yourself this year? What are you trying to hit?
Coach and I want to. Well, Coach said that if I get to 1,100 pounds, that'll be pretty solid. I'm at 1030 right now, so 70 pounds in a couple months. See if I can get it.
Do you find one discipline's a little bit easier for you than the others, or it's all kind of the same?
I don't know. I mean, I feel like I'm best at bench,
Yeah.
But everything else is pretty good.
Yeah, finding improvement, and I would imagine you're finding improvement in deadlift and squat as you get involved with the program.
Of course.
Okay, very good. Alejandra, how about you? You were involved in the competitions last year. What did you find to be your favorite part of being at the competitions?
Just cheering everyone on and just experiencing it all. Just all the adrenaline. You're sweating. You're yelling. You might lose your voice. Just everything that has to do with like the meet and that goes on within yourself and your team. It's one of its own. It's a one of a kind.
All right. What are your goals for this season? What are the numbers you're trying to hit?
I definitely want to improve on all three and at least hit at least 720. I'm at a solid 695, I believe. I'm not too sure. I don't remember the numbers.
That's okay.
But if I get to that 720, I'll automatically just be in the top 3 for state in my weight class.
All right, and that's what I mean. Do you find it difficult when you get into a competition to hit those same weights, maybe that you've been hitting in practice, or is it almost easier to do it in the competition sometimes?
Sometimes it's easier. Most of the time, it's easier because you just have all that adrenaline, all those people yelling at you, and you just want to impress everyone, and you just want to do the best that you can. So you just want to put on a show. So you just go all out.
Do you have a discipline in particular that's maybe your favorite or your best, or you like all three?
Definitely don't think at all and don't make yourself a head case.
Yeah.
Those are my big 2.
But between like the three, the power or the deadlift and the squat and the bench, which one do you find to be your favorite in there? I knew you were confused by my question. I didn't word it very well. So no, that's okay. I asked the question poorly, so don't worry about it. Which one do you have one that you like the best, or do you like all of them? I like all of them, but right now I'm really liking my bench because I've hit a plate, and that's really good. That's a real accomplishment for me. And when you say hit a plate, what does that mean?
135 pounds.
Okay,
that's a 45 pounds.
I don't know that. I'm sure a lot of other people
big
don't.
Boy weight, yeah, that's what we call it, big boy weight. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. All right, Sydney. So you haven't had a chance to do a competition yet, right?
No, I haven't.
Are you excited about that? I mean,
I am.
Volleyball is such a fun environment all the time, and you got these folks telling you about how cool powerlifting competitions. Are you excited about that first one?
I am. I'm super excited. I think it's gonna be fun.
All right. Which discipline do you find that you enjoy the most, or maybe you've had the most success with so far?
I think I enjoy deadlift and squat more than I do bench because those are bigger and heavier weights. But I definitely do enjoy like a good bench day. Like when I'm having a good bench day, I'm happy.
All right. So what's your goals for this year? What are you trying to hit in terms of weight?
I'm not entirely sure what I'm at right now, but kind of like how Alejandra said, like the 700s would be really great.
Okay, very good. And that would give you a chance to qualify for state, I would assume.
Yeah, hopefully, yeah.
Okay, very good. We'll look forward to that. So, Coach, I mean, you talked about the expectations for the group. Obviously, you feel like, you said the girls have a chance to compete for a trophy this year. And I'm sure for the boys, I feel like it's probably kind of an unknown with this being the first year for the sport to know for sure who's really going to be up there towards the top when the state tournament comes around, right?
I mean, yeah, and the sport's growing for Alamogordo, so I'm guessing it's growing for every other school. And I want to say in 5A, I want to say it is about 10 editions, right? And everybody and all the coaches are so excited too. I wouldn't call myself a veteran in it at all, but I'm, with some people, them being brand new, I get phone calls all the time. Hey, Coach, how do we do this? How do we do this? So we got some other schools out of there, and local, like a couple of the Cruces schools are really growing. So they're going to bring great competition for these guys, and it'll be cool because, at the end of the day, they compete against them, and then they get to go watch. And even Thule. So Thule, yeah, we'll compete against them, but then when we get there on April 12th, we're cheering for them because they're not our competition anymore. We want to see them do good because we're going to see them 3 other times. So, we want to see people grow, and we want to see programs grow as well.
Well, and I think one of the big positives is that most schools have a weight room, and this really is not a huge addition to the athletics budget. It's not anything. Travel obviously will be a little bit of part of it, but most schools across the state, this is not going to be a difficult one for them to add, right?
No, you really just need a bar and need some weights, right?
Yeah.
You need a bench, and that's about it. Right? Even when it comes to the judging, they say you have to have flags, but at the end of the day, people just do thumbs up, thumbs down for good lift. So it's a simple sport, as in everyone should have it. The only thing now that they require, which a lot of kids don't like, is you have to wear a singlet. And the singlet requires so you could see, and Rusty loves it. Usually the girls don't because it's not Lululemon or whatever they want, right? And some of the girls though do buy into it, but some of them are like, it doesn't make me look good. So we'll see. But I mean, that right there, that's, you get a lot of them borrow it from wrestling and stuff like that. So it's simple, and I mean, and we have a great weight room in my eyes. We have a bunch of stuff. I've had to buy a couple things, as in I had to invest in a chalk bowl because I found an old medicine ball that I threw the chalk in, and then that at the end of practice, I realized I had a big mess of chalk. Now we got ourselves a proper chalk bowl. Thank you, Mom, for Christmas. And so, I mean, it's an easy sport. We have, and here at Alamogordo, we're blessed with what we have right now.
Well, and that's the other thing is I know the weight room went through a big upgrade in the last few years, and that more importantly, I'm sure got more kids want to be in the weight room because it's been revamped, and the kids want to go in there and be a part of it, whether it's a weight class or getting involved with the powerlifting program, right?
Yeah, and I mean, as far as kids want to get involved, I've heard reasons like kids want to join powerlifting is because, I mean, these kids are, where they say and Alejandra's a good example. Some of these other kids are great examples of when they enter the weight room, they're real shy. And then now when you see them and it just getting people comfortable with the weight room for one. And I mean, a lot of people be like, hey, I want to join powerlifting because I heard you guys singing Bruno Mars while you were doing planks. That just seems like a good time. And they all know what we're talking about when we're like, hey, were you singing Miley Cyrus while doing push-ups? So yeah, they got to entertain themselves somehow. So they just sing Miley Cyrus. I don't know why. Right? So, I mean, they are. So the weight room is great. It brings people in, but I think the kids are the reason they stay.
Yeah. Sydney, you okay with a singlet or rather not have to wear the singlet?
I'd rather not.
Okay. Fair enough. Sydney, you are a senior this year. You looking forward to graduation? Can you believe it's only a few months down the road?
I'm so excited to graduate.
Okay, so excited to graduate. Very good. I know we already chatted about future plans back with volleyball. Yeah. Anything in particular you're really looking forward to outside of powerlifting before we get to the end of the school year, or just kind of eyes on graduation?
Kind of just eyes on graduation. I'm excited to not have to worry about homework.
Okay, very good. I think we all know that feeling at some point. Alejandra, singlet okay? Don't care? No big deal?
It's not a big old deal. Yeah. I bought mine. I like the colors of it. It's just black and red. It's a really nice brand, so I'm not too worried about it.
No problem. All right. Alejandra, what grade are you in?
I'm a junior.
Junior? All right. You started thinking about after school plans or something you're interested in doing once you get done with high school?
Yeah, I'm going to graduate with my associates because I'm a part of one of the early college programs here at the high school. Once I'm done with that, I'll just transfer straight to Crucis and just start working on my bachelor's and my master's.
What's the thing you're working on?
It is secondary education in kinesiology, basically becoming a PE teacher.
Okay, that's the goal that you're shooting for?
Yeah.
All right, very cool. That's awesome. All right, well, of course, we'll get to see you for another full year of powerlifting next year. Some coach will be excited about this year and next year to have you here. Is powerlifting, if you have a chance to, Coach, I'd assume there's powerlifting programs in college?
Yeah, and it's getting bigger. Rusty is one that has really been interested in it. And as of right now, it's more of a club thing. And powerlifting also, it's one of those things that they have competitions that these kids could do this summer. Because, even during last summer, my wife actually trained for one, and she won a powerlifting competition in El Paso. So this is a thing, if they enjoy, they can train. They don't have access to me when they graduate, but they do have access to if they want to have it. I know Rusty has shown interest in that to keep that competitive stuff or give them something to train for. Because I think at the end, we all just need something to train for at the end of the day.
All right. So, you're hoping to continue powerlifting once high school's done?
Yes, sir. I hope to win and compete in a USA powerlifting competition.
Okay, very cool. Well, we're excited to watch that. We'll see your name out there. Because obviously it's something that you could, work your way all up to the Olympics possibly if you get that chance, right? That would be. That's obviously the highest goal to get to, but that would be a cool thing, right?
Yeah, that would be a dream.
Yeah. All right. Very good. Cash, we're going to see you out there in the baseball field here in a couple of months, and I know baseball is something you're hoping to continue after high school. Is that fair to say?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Have you started to hear from colleges or anything like that?
Oh, yeah. I'm committed right now to a New Mexico Military Institute in Roswell.
Okay.
I'm going to play baseball there.
Awesome. Very good. Have you done your signing yet or not yet?
I have not official, or I have done the official one, not the one that you see on Instagram.
Okay, gotcha. So you've officially signed the papers. You're ready to go over there. Awesome. Very good. And I have to ask the guys as well. You okay with the singlet or no?
It doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter. Okay. Not a big deal. I have to ask everybody that question now since I already asked the ladies that one. So, all right. So Rusty, I know you play. We've seen you out there on the football field, but it sounds like powerlifting something you're hoping to continue after this.
Yeah, I'm just want to do it after high school. Like, even if it's not for college, I'll do USA powerlifting while I'm studying in college. I'm going to get my kinesiology degree just so I know how to get bigger, stronger, better.
All right, very good. You don't care about the singlet, no big deal.
I'm going to look so good in that thing, man.
Well, you did wrestling at some point as well, right? No? Okay. I always thought that you did wrestling for some reason, so made me think of that for some reason. And you're not in the weight room singing Miley Cyrus. I saw you shaking your head.
He is. He is.
I know. It's all good. All right, Coach. We'll look forward to it. Let me pull up the calendar here, make sure we know exactly when your competitions are coming up. There we go. So the first one on January 20th between Alamogordo and Tularosa. That one will be in the Aux Gym. Then you guys are going to be at Tularosa coming up on February 17th. Then it'll be Alamo, Tule, Mayfield in the Aux Gym on the 2nd. And then the last chance meet on the 30th as well. So there's actually 3 home meets for you guys. State competition is April 12th and 13th. So I guess my question is that one of those that we'll start to see schedules expand a little bit where there'll be more meets, or what are you seeing with that going forward?
It kind of depends, because when you really get down to it, it's not really good to max out, right, to do your 100% lift that many times. So they capped it at 4, and I think they did that because, this being the first year and a whole bunch of new programs, it's kind of protecting kids, because if you don't really have 100% know what you're doing, you could, that's where you start seeing those nagging injuries. But I would love for it to grow, because then I can only really have 12 varsity lifters at every meet. So the more I have, the more I could put out there, because I've already told these kids, like, hey, I'm going to put you in this meet, but you're not doing this meet, and you're going to do this meet. So as of right now, you can only do 4 meets, but I think in the future they might expand it as the knowledge of powerlifting goes. But as of right now, for safety reasons, they're going to keep it at 4, and it might be that way for the next couple of years.
And I would also have to think that the amount of kids that are going to be involved in these different programs, they're going to have to, in terms of the numbers, only having 12 varsity kids that get to compete, I'm sure that's going to have to change a little bit.
Yeah, and I think we'll see, because sometimes, and also the weight classes are pretty big. Yeah. I'll tell some of these kids, like, hey, you're right in the middle of these 2 weight classes, so you either have to, you got 10 pounds to win or gain, or 10 pounds to lose. It's up to you. So I think it being a new sport, it's going to, but with all sports, even football right now is going to have new rules coming next year, stuff like that. So as of right now, I think they're just trying to make sure everything is done safely. But yeah, I think there's going to be some changes in the next couple of years.
All right. Well, we look forward to it. It should be fun this year. Go out and support the powerlifting program. It's brand new, so they need some new fans out there to go out and support them. Wish you all the best of luck this season, and we'll see y'all out there, okay?
All right, thank you very much.
Thank you.